All right. Math 2, Unit 9, Lesson 6a. We're factoring trinomials. I didn't say this earlier, but this is a trinomial. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Like, what does that mean? It's just a way we write our polynomials in standard form. The squared comes first, the x comes second, the constant comes third. All right. First one was review. We are going to do our double distribution or our window method or the rewrite method for those of you doing it that way, or even the FOIL method. All right. Either way, what do we get in the end? X squared plus what?
7x plus 12.
Thank you. 7x plus 12. Do we all agree?
Oh,
Do you feel like we've had enough practice with this type of problem by now? Okay. Listening. A really quick side note on the quiz. I had a few of you make this mistake and say, oh, it's x squared plus 25. Are we allowed to distribute the exponent when there's a plus or minus sign? No. Who remembers what you're supposed to do?
X plus 5 times
Good job. X plus 5 times x plus 5. Please do not mess that up on the test. All right. And we have another quiz coming up this Friday. All right. Okay, guys. What we're going to do today is I'm going to start giving you the answers, and you are going to work back to the original problem. So I'm going to give you this and ask you what was in the double bubble to begin with so that when you do your double distribution, this is your answer. All right, so here's what you do. First, please stop the talking and the giggling. I know math is fun and exciting, but we need to try to control ourselves. All right, what is the leading coefficient here that I don't see? 1. So what we do is we list the factors of our first term and our last term. We list the factors of our first term and our last term. Kids often ask, well, what about the middle term? That term we check at the end. For now, what are the only factors of 1? What's the only two numbers that multiply to 1? 1 and 1. 12, there's a bit more. 1 and 12. 2 and 3 and 4. It's really nice if you list them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the factors until you have them all. All right. Do you guys agree that 1x times 1x is 1x squared? If I were to be doing the window method or the double distribution method, would I end up with x squared in the beginning? Yes or no? Okay, this is important information that I'm going to share with you. You need to be listening. This is a positive. Do you agree when I get the 12, I get that by multiplying two numbers together? 4 times 3 is 12, yes or no? All right. The only way to multiply to a positive number is if they are both positive or both. Do you agree either way, if I multiply a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative, it's going to end up being a positive number, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so when this last number is positive, it's either going to be plus plus or minus minus. You will always look at the neighbor to tell you. When we do our double distribution, we want the middle terms to add up to positive 7. What do these two signs have to be in order to add up to a positive? Both positive or both negative? Plus plus. Now you look here. Is it going to be 1 and 12 or 2 and 6 or 3 and 4? Knowing that we're going to want to add the middle terms to end up to be 7. Is it going to be 3 and 4? Okay, so do we all agree that 1x times 1x is indeed the first term 1x squared? 1x times 1x is the first term 1x squared.
Yes.
And positive 3 times positive 4 is the last term positive 12.
Yes.
What's the one number I've not yet checked? Okay, so how do you check that? What was the way we checked the first 10 on Friday's worksheet? Double distribution. But I have a shortcut for you. Are you guys ready? You are more than welcome to do the double distribution. It's going to take a little longer, but you can. I will tell you this. You do have to have check work on these or you're not going to receive credit. Whether your check work is the double distribution or the rewrite or the shortcut I'm about to give you now. Are we all ready? Here's the shortcut. Do you guys remember the FOIL, the first, outer, inner, last? Do you remember that? Do you agree I've already checked the first and the last? The only one I haven't checked is the outer and the inner. So that's what I do. I do my outer inner piece. What's 3x times 1x? What's 1x times 4? And add those together. What's 3x plus 4x?
7x.
And is it the middle term? Yes? Then we're super happy. Let's put on our happy face. And then we box in our answer. Do you agree that's what I started with over here? Now, I had plus 4 plus 3. My answer is plus 3 plus 4. Does it matter? No. Multiplication is commutative. It doesn't matter. A times B is B times A. All right, so let's try some. We are going to factor and check. If you do not have your check work, you are not going to receive credit on your assignment today. All right, number 1, x squared minus 16x plus 64. Okay, I know. It's factor and it's a trinomial, which means I'm going to do my double bubble. What's the number here that I don't see? 1. What are my only factors of 1?
1.
Okay, so that's going to be 1x and 1x. Is 1x and 1x the same as just writing x and x? Do you have to put the 1s as the coefficient of x?
No.
No, it's better if you don't. I'm doing it for now. Okay, now the last two numbers, I want them to multiply to positive 64. What are my factors of 64 in order? Does 1 go into 64? Okay, 2 goes into 64. How many times?
32.
I'm going to list them all. 3 does not. 4 does. Anybody know? 4 times.
16.
Good job. 16. 5 does not, nor does 6 or 7, but 8 does, and it's 8 times 8. And 8 times 8, I can't go any bigger than that. Well, the bigger ones I already have over here. Okay. Now, some people will not need to list them all. Some kids, once you get more practice, you'll know the answer right away. I give you this because if you ever get stuck and you cannot factor, should you list them all for both factors? Yes, list them all. I promise you'll find your answer in there somewhere. Okay, what did we say about positives? They either are both positive or both. So is it okay if I put the word same? Same means plus plus or minus minus. Where do I look to tell me whether they're both positive or both negative? I heard somebody say it. The neighbor. The neighbor tells me what? Nope. Negative. Negative and a negative. Okay. I know they're the same. The neighbor tells me they have to both be negative. All right. I'm going to have you go through, kind of do it in your head, do the inside-outside, figure which one of these, when you do your whole double distribution or your outside-inside, will give you a negative 16 in the middle. You have it? What is it? This one here? So negative 8 and negative 8. All right. How do we check this? Double distribution or the shortcut, which is the outer and the inner. What does the inner give me? What's negative 8 times 1x? What does the outer give me? And they're both negative, and they do not cross each other out. They add up to negative what?
16.
Thank you. And is that the middle term?
Yes.
Yes, it is. This is our answer. Oh, forgot my smiley face. And there is the answer. Questions?
No.
Okay, I will tell you this. I am okay with you writing your answer like this, but over time, you want to get comfortable and used to writing it this way. Because there's two of them, they're exactly the same. How do I rewrite it? X minus 8 quantity squared. Same.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it always going to be 1x?
Very good question. No, it's not. We'll do that with number 2. He asked a fabulous question. Is it always going to be 1x squared? Unfortunately not. 1 is when it's nicer, but it's not always nice. Yes. Yes. Make sure you sign out.
I was going to ask the same thing.
I have 2 passes. You can go. All right. Number 2. 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. All right. These are the harder ones. Now, Christian asked a really good question. Is it always going to be 1 in the front? No, it's not. And we know that because when we've done our double distribution in the past, let's see if I can find a double distribution problem. Did we have them sometimes where they ended up, where they were not ones in the beginning? There's one there. Do you guys see that? Okay. All right, so let's try some. What is my first term? It's not hiding, it's there. What is it? 2. My only factors of 2 are 1 and 2. What's my last term? And I forgot to write the F and the L on the last one. You don't have to, just know it's the first and the last. Do I ever list the factors of the middle? No. When do I check the middle? At the end. You are correct. Okay, so when I have this, I'm going to do my double bubble. The last sign, this last sign tells me what? They are the same or different? They're both positive or they're both negative. I'm going to put same. The neighbor tells me what? They're positive and positive. Okay. The only way to get 2x squared is using 1 and 2. So 1x and 2x. What if you wanted to write 2x and 1x? Would that be okay? It still works. Okay. Now, was it Andrew that gave me the answer for this one? The 8 and 8? Can you tell me how you did it in your head? Because you got it pretty quickly.
I knew that if 3, looking at the example, if 3 and 4 adds to 7, it would be the same thing to add.
Did anybody else catch that? Not like anybody catch it when we did it earlier? Yes? Okay, so if you didn't hear what he said, I noticed on this one that 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 plus 4 adds up to the middle to be 7. Do you guys agree with him? And negative 8 times negative 8 is 64, and when we add it up, we get negative 16, yes or no? Okay, now we have a problem here. The only factor we have here is 1 and 3. Is that going to add up to 7? Anybody know why this one we can't do that shortcut that Andrew gave you? Because the leading coefficient is not 1. It's only when the leading coefficient's 1 that you can do that little adding shortcut. Can you do that here? No. I will tell you this. It's going to take practice, and it will be kind of difficult, but the more you do, the better you will become at guessing. So you want to make sure that you get the practice. Okay, so I'm just going to throw it in there as I see it. Positive 1 and positive 3. Does everyone agree that 1x times 2x is my first term, 2x squared?
Yes.
And the 1 times 3 is the positive 3. Does 1 plus 3 add up to 7? No, but how do I check that? I do the outside and the... Can you guys check that right now? Try your outside and inside and add them up. Did it work? What is the outside?
3x.
And the inside?
2x.
And that adds up to not 7x? Okay, it's wrong. Now, this method of factoring is called guess and check. And it's right in the title. You make a guess. If it doesn't work, you cross it out. You check it. If it doesn't work, then you retry. Okay, guess and check. I'm going to leave the 1x and the 2x, and I'm going to leave the plus and the plus. What can I do with the 1 and the 3 to make a different answer? Can I flip them? Can I put the 3 over here and the 1 over here? Now do your outside inside and see if that one works. Did it work? What did we get? 6x and that adds up to, and is that the middle? Yes, we have our smiley face and we are super happy. Okay, so when Christian asked, is it always 1? No. Is it take a little more guessing and checking when it's a bigger number than 1?
Yes.
Yes, 1s are nice, but we have to know how to handle all situations. Any questions on any of these? Do you have to have your check work? Now, if you're working in pencil, you don't have to cross it out. You can just erase and retry or do it on scratch paper if you'd like. Okay, number 3. Y squared minus 3y minus 54. Now, this leading coefficient I cannot see. What is it? Is that the easy one? 1 and 1. What's my last? This is my first. What's my last coefficient? 54. I'm going to ignore the negative for now and just list the factors. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. There's 1, 2, 3, and 6 that all go into 54. Anybody give it to me for 1? That one's easy. 1 and? Anybody have it for 2? 27. Good job. 3. 3 and 18. And then 6 and 9. Okay. Y and Y to give me the 1y squared. Now, we haven't had one like this. If the last sign is negative, what does that mean? My two signs are the same or different?
Different.
They have to be different in order to get a negative. One's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. Now, if one is positive and one's negative and you're adding them together, technically, are you adding or subtracting in the end? If you're adding a positive and a negative, you're doing subtraction, right?
Yes.
So which one of these, we can use Andrew's shortcut, which one adds up to the 3? And which one's positive and which one's negative? Do we know?
9's negative.
Okay, I'm going to purposely mess it up then, because he said the 9's negative. How can you tell that this is wrong? First off, is y times y squared? Is 9 times negative 3 negative 54?
No, it's 9/6.
Oh, sorry. You said it, I heard it, and I wrote it wrong. Okay, y times y is y squared, and 9 times negative 6 is negative 54, yes or no? How do we know it's wrong? Right, they don't add up. 9y and negative 6y is what? And I want it to be negative. So what's an easy thing to do? I can change this plus 9 to a negative 9 and the minus 6 to a plus. Would that work? Let's check. That's negative 9y, positive 6y. Does it add up to negative 3y? Yes, we're happy. And this is the answer. Yes. You could. You could have left your y plus and your y minus and just put the 6 here and the 9 and the 9 there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes. Are these two the same answer? Yes or no? As long as your 9 is negative and your 6 is positive, the order in which they appear does not matter. Any questions?
No.
I will leave it up to you as I did my last class. Do you want to keep doing notes or do homework problems together?
Homework problem.
Okay, take your packets out, packet 2, and open up to worksheet 6A. Okay. Guys, talking needs to stop. All of this is what we were just doing. The back is error analysis. You look for the mistakes and fix it. That is, those are on the test. Error analysis, we'll go over those tomorrow, but try them on your own today. All right, here's what we're going to do. Shh, guys, I'm going to do this half with you. Whatever I don't finish on this half is your homework as well as the odds. So you're doing all of this on your own, and whatever I don't finish here. We're starting on number 2. Okay, first term. What's the leading coefficient that I do not see? 1. So I list the factors of 1. Is this the easy one where we can use that shortcut trick, the adding trick? What's the last term?
18.
Okay, 18 is a little bigger, so that's 118. Does 2 go into 18? 9. And what about 3? Any other numbers, or is that it? That's it. Double bubble. My last sign is positive. What does that tell me? My two signs are the same or different? Same. The neighbor tells me they are both what? The only way to get 1t squared is using 1 and 1. Is that equivalent to just t and t?
Yes.
All right, so this is the one where you can use the adding shortcut. Which one of these adds up to the middle term?
3 and 6.
So plus 3 and plus 6. Is that correct? Shh, guys. Okay, put it away and focus. All right. If you put plus 6 and plus 3, would that be okay? Now, if you stopped here, why would you get it wrong? You have to check. 3t in the middle. What does the outside give me? 6t. What does that add up to? 9t. We're happy, and we box it in. Okay. Next one. What's the leading coefficient that I can see? 3. That's 1 and 3. What's the last number? That's only 1 and 7. That's nice when they're prime. That's less guessing. My last sign is positive, which tells me what? They're going to be the same. Is this the one where we can use the adding trick? No, because the leading coefficient is not 1. All right. Now, is it okay if I put 3x and 1x? Versus if you put 1x and 3x, does it matter? No. Okay, the neighbor tells me they're both positive or both negative. All right. Now, you can't do the adding trick, so guess and check. 1, 7 or 7, 1. Go ahead and make a guess. Check it. If it doesn't work, then flip-flop the 7 and the 1. Has anybody guessed it already and checked it and figured it out?
Yes.
7 and 1.
Okay, 7, 1 or 1, 7?
7.
7, 1? Okay, can I give you guys just a little bit of like hints, stuff that you'll learn over time? This here, don't write this one down. Before I even check it, like when I'm just thinking in my head, I don't actually write them down. I just, in my head, think, if I put 7 here, what's 7 times 3? If I put 7 here, what's 7 times 3? Is that anywhere near where I need to be? And the inside's going to be 1. So that kind of guides me on my first guess where to put the numbers. Let's check. Negative 7x, what's the outside? What does that add up to?
10x.
Negative 10x, is that the middle term?
Yep.
Yep, we're happy. And we box it in. Where? Okay. Okay. Number 6. What's my leading coefficient? 7. Can I do the shortcut adding trick on this one? No, because my leading coefficient is not 1. What's my last number?
Negative
2. I'm just going to take the 2. 1 and 2. The negative works itself out in the problem. Double bubble. Okay. We didn't do very many of these in notes. I want to go over it again. What do we know if the last sign is negative? It's one's negative, one's positive. The only way to get 7x squared is if it's 1x and 7x. Does it matter if you put the 7 first and then the 1 second? No. I'm just going to throw a plus minus in there. I do not know if I have it in the right spot. Actually, I'm going to make it minus plus. And I don't know if I have it in the right spot. You're going to check 1, 2, 2, 1. Again, I'm thinking right now 2 times 7 is 14. So that's kind of going to guide me on where to put the 2. Go ahead and figure it out. 1, 2 or 2, 1. Plus minus or minus plus? I heard 2, 1. Did you say that, Alex? Does anybody have it? 1, 2 or 2, 1? Don't worry about the negatives, positive yet. Which one?
1, 2.
1, 2? Okay. Let's check. What does the inside give me? Negative 7x. What does the outside give me?
2x.
2x. That adds up to negative 5x. Is that what I'm trying to get? Would it help if I flip-flop the positive and negative signs? No, that's just going to give me a positive 5. Okay, so then that helps. Instead of 1, 2, what should I do? 2, 1. Let's try that now. Again, why would you think to put the 2 here? What's 2 times 7? Negative 14 in this case. And then 1 times 2 is, I'm sorry, 1 times 1? Is that 1x? What's negative 14 plus 1x?
Negative 13.
Is that closer?
Yes, that's not right.
It's not right. So you would get this wrong. It's an easy fix, though. What do I change this minus to?
Positive.
Positive 2 and the plus 1 to a minus 1. So the positive 2 has to be with the x, the negative 1 with the 7. Let's now check it. Positive 14, negative 1, does that add up to positive 13? And is positive 13 what I'm trying to get in the middle?
Yes.
Yes. We're happy, and we box it in. Okay. What's the leading coefficient on number 8? Is that the one where you can use the adding shortcut? Yes? Bless you. Okay, what are the only factors of, there's two sets for 15. 1 and 15, and the other one is 3 and 5. Double bubble. D and D. Signs are the same or different? Different. I don't know if it's plus or minus, so I'm just going to put plus minus. Remember, if one's plus and one's minus, are you really adding or are you really subtracting? When you add a positive and a negative, you are subtracting. So which one of these subtract to the middle term? And why can I use the shortcut? Because the leading term is 1. Okay, so positive 3 or positive 5? Positive 5 and negative. Let's check. What does the inside give me? 5D. What does the outside give me? Negative 3D. What does that add up to? And is that the middle term? We're happy. We box it in. How are you guys feeling about these? They're not too bad? Would you like me to do 10 or 12? And which one? 10 or 12? 10's the easier one because of the 1. 12. Okay. 2 is 1 and 2. 6 is 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. This tells me the two signs are what?
Positive.
Well, not just that. The same. And the neighbor tells me that they are both positive. So 1x and 2x or 2x and 1x. Now you have to figure out 1 and 6 or 6 and 1. 2 and 3 or 3 and 2. I will give you some shortcuts tomorrow about guesses to never make. We're not going to do that yet today. Okay, did I hear somebody give me an answer?
It's 6 and 1.
So 1 6 or 6 1? 6 1. Let's try it. What does the inside give me?
12x.
Do any of you feel like you're already guessing a little quicker already, just in those few that we've done?
Yeah.
Like you're seeing the 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, 1 times x is 1x. Does that add up to the middle number?
Yes.
Yep. All right. Questions?
No.
So you have this left side plus number 10 to do on your own, plus the 3 on the back. Got it?